hugs that took 5 or 10 seconds as more pleasurable than hugs that took 1 second. I think 3 to 5 probably should be the parameter, not 5 to 10.
I'm saying over 3, you are sending a message.
Over 3 is not sending a message. Over 5 is sending a message. Over 10, you're just a weirdo. I don't agree with some of them. And some people just aren't huggers. But we'll begin. Number 1, they say, hug like you mean it. Deep pressure is the key.
Is that right?
I don't think they're
Deep
wrong on
pressure.
this. There is something like a hug, much like a handshake. You don't want just the gentle pat, like the cold fish thing. Like that's not a good hug. Like you come in and you just kind of like, like if you're gonna hug like you mean.
Right.
I'm down with that. They say a recent study in the scientific journal Biological Psychology investigated which elements of touching during hugging influence the feeling of social connection with the other person. 75 volunteers experienced either deep or light pressure from a weighted blanket, while they were also exposed to a warm or neutral temperature pack. While they looked at pictures of people who were close to them, the result, especially deep, warm pressure, evoked a feeling of social connection. So get in here, man. Come on, bring it in. So you got to get some deep pressure on that hug.
You got to be careful with deep pressure. You're giving people a license that they shouldn't have.
Well, you can't get too deep.
That's what I mean.
With the pressure, if you know what I'm saying. That you can't get real up in there, but you'll know it. You'll know it when you feel it. Yes, Johnny?
Neither of us are women. But I think women know damn good and well when you're hugging in such a way that you're trying to squish their boobs.
Oh,
and I think
is that a thing?
I think we've all kind of gone, oh wow, how about that? You know, haven't you done that?
I've never done that.
I do that all the time.
I've never done that. I've done the opposite though, where you go in for the hug for the female, right? Mm-hmm. And there is the right amount of pressure, but I accidentally feel where the bra strap is, and now I don't know where I put my hands because I don't want them to think that I'm trying to manipulate said strap through some type of Doctor Strange magic. Yeah. So that kind of freaks me out. I'm like, well, where do I go with my hands now? I've hit the bra. I've hit the clasp.
I don't know if I described that accurately, and maybe women can call in or comment below. There's something about a hug. If you go a little too much, you're not hugging to hug. Well, you're hugging to get a cop of feel with your chest. I think that's what's happening.
Exactly. You're trying to get a nip touch with your own nips. I get what you're saying there. Which leads us to the next rule.
Yes.
Is that for the perfect hug, the hug should be between 5 and 10 seconds. Would we agree on that length?
That's a long hug.
Well, the 10-second part, yes. Anything over 10 seconds, I think, to your point, it's getting weird.
I think 5 is suspect.
Well, and I would have to go further and deeper into the research of, does that include the beginning part and the pulling close with the pressure? Because that, I mean,
right.
That 5 seconds and around 5 to 10 is okay. But I feel like 10 seconds is way too long for a perfect hug.
Man, I mean, think for a second. Let's just we're gonna be silent for 5 seconds and just imagine you and I are hugging.
The stopwatch.
Ready?
Who's got the stopwatch?
If I'm giving you a man hug that long,
that doesn't bother me. That's
a
5 seconds seems about okay. That's as long as you go. Ooh. That shouldn't be the minimum. That shouldn't be the minimum. They're saying it's minimum 5 to 10 seconds.
Oh God.
That should be the minimum.
All right.
10 seconds is way too long. They said in a study from London, it was shown that volunteers rated hugs that took 5 or 10 seconds as more pleasurable than hugs that took 1 second. I don't know if you should be talking about pleasurable when it comes to hugs. They say probably not a good idea to hug much longer than 10 seconds of most people, as many people find very long hugs awkward at some point. Duration of the hug also depends on a bit of the relationship between the two people who hug. Recent study I was a part of found that friends on average hug for about 3 seconds, while lovers hug for about 7 seconds. Yeah, one lovers hug.
See, that's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
You get into that. You get over 3. I'm saying if you get over 3, you're sending a message.
You may be right. You may be onto something on that. I think 3 to 5 probably should be the parameter, not 5 to 10. I think we can agree.
I'm saying that. Over 3, you are sending a message.
Over 3 is not sending a message.
Oh,
over 5 is sending a message. Over 10, you're just a weirdo.
Ladies, we need you.
Yes. Chime in.
Call in 707-4-MONKEY-466-6539 or comment below. I don't know, man. Yes. 3 seconds. Whew.
All right. Well, we're going to get halfway through the list. They say both Crisscross. No. I think science is saying this is the perfect hug, and I think there is quite the debate about pressure and length. That's why they're number 1 and 2. Moving on to number 3, they say both crisscross and neck waist hugs are great. I'm not quite sure what they mean by that. The study mentioned above also investigated whether the type of hug affected how much people liked it. They compared crisscross hugs with the arms of the hugging partners are crossed over each other's shoulders and waist. Okay, so it's
left
this
goes
thing.
High, right goes low, right goes high, left goes low.
And to necked waist hugs where one person hugs the shoulders of the other who wraps their arms around the waist. Oh, okay. So there's the high and someone goes low, and then there's just this thing.
Neck waist is like the 8th grade slow dance.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. However, scientists did not find a difference between the 2 types of hugs. Both were great, they said. Moving on to number 4, they say, consider your hugging partner's personality. The study on hugging and relationship status mentioned above also investigated the effects of personality variables on hugging. The results showed that people who have high neuroticism and worry a lot prefer a bit more distance during hugging, while people who are very responsible and diligent in their social relationships tend to prefer less distance during hugging. So take into account the person you're dealing with. That's a terrible hug, by the way, that they use for the picture of this story. I just realized. Isn't it? That is a wet fish, just awful. Like, she wants no part of that.
She doesn't want to be there.
That's out of Crisscross. She wants no buy-in on that whatsoever. Here's an interesting one. They say that for the perfect hug with the left arm first. I don't know if I do that. Maybe I do. I come in with a righty, so my right arm is always open. I guess I do wrap with left and pull close with the right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. So Greg wants to know, how do you hug your grandma?
You give grandma a nice hug.
Yeah,
it's a nice familial hug. There's different grades of hug.
There's familiar. A couple seconds though, isn't it?
That's a quick, grandma, and then you're out.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
A lot of patting. Pat, 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 pat. I'm done.
Yes, very much so. Grandmas tend to try to hold on to the hugs a little too long sometimes. Grandmas and aunts do the same thing. But they say hug with the left arm first. When hugging someone, people have to decide whether they lead the hug with the right or the left. A study from 2019 has shown that overall, most people tend to hug with their right arm first, but particularly in very emotional hugs, there was a shift to more left-handed hugs. It's been suggested that this reflects an important role of the right hemisphere of the brain for processing emotion. And
you don't
finally,
go in like Frankenstein with both hands?
No, I hug you now. I will hug him and love him and name him George. Pat, pat, pat. Yeah, no, you don't go in like Frankenstein. And the final rule for the perfect hug someone you love. They say a Japanese study showed that it matters a lot who you hug. A study in babies and their parents showed that a hug between baby and parent reduced the heart rate of both, indicating relaxation. Fact was not found when a female stranger gave the baby a hug. Who is just, hey, stranger, come over here and hug my baby. How are they doing that? How are they doing that study?
Shouldn't do that.
You got time to hug this baby over here real quick?
Or just walk up to somebody's baby and just take it and hug it? No, you're going to get arrested.
Lead with your left hand, 5 to 10 seconds with the baby, good pressure, and we'll have a perfect hug.
Dude, I think men have to figure out how to hug.
What do you mean? Like other dudes?
Yeah, when men hug men,
How so?
Well, because
I wanna hear-
there's always the handshake, so that there are arms in between, and then it's a one-sided hug, which I think it's kind of a lame hug.
Yeah, the shake and the pull close hug.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that. I always go ahead.
Because, well, you know what's going on there. It's like, we've got to make sure that there is a forearm between us so that we're not gay. That's what's happening.
You know what? You're not wrong on that probably, but I go against all convention on that. Like, if it's someone that I know and I've had a hug before, I don't even put the hand out. I just say, bring it in. I lead. I just lead right with the hug. Yes, I go full Frankenstein. Be like, we're going to man hug Frankenstein. We're going to be this far away and pat, pat, pat.